If you forgive these things, you're burying your own life alive without even realizing it. There are 3 types of betrayal in relationships that Keanu Reeves says this clearly. Only the weak forgive this kind of betrayal. Because the moment you turn a blind eye to betrayal, deceit, or broken trust, you're not just losing your self-respect, you're teaching the one who hurt you that you're not worthy of respect at all. In this video, I'll break down how Keanu Reeves exposes each of these betrayals and reveal a chilling truth you'll wish you had known sooner. This isn't a video to comfort you. This is a video to wake you up. If you've ever stayed silent after a lie, if you've ever forgiven someone who turned their back on you, then you need to watch this to the very end. Because after today, you won't just see relationships differently, you'll live differently. 1. Betrayal isn't simply a mistake, it's a deliberate act that shatters the most essential foundation of any relationship: trust. To betray someone is to make a conscious decision to prioritize personal gain over the promises and loyalty owed to them. Loyalty is more than just a virtue, it is the bedrock upon which every strong relationship is built. Without loyalty, there can be no trust, no sense of safety, and no genuine connection between people. When someone betrays you, whether it's a trusted friend, a romantic partner, or a family member, they're not just causing pain. They're sending a clear message that your relationship meant less to them than their own selfish desires. Betrayal can take many forms: a close friend speaking ill of you behind your back, a spouse being unfaithful in secret, or a family member abandoning their moral compass for personal benefit. In every case, betrayal is never accidental, it reveals a person's true character. Great philosophers have long reminded us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can choose how we respond. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." This means that instead of reacting with anger, despair, or the desire for revenge, we should accept the painful truth that the other person has exposed their own toxic nature. And in that truth, we find a strange kind of freedom, the opportunity to move forward in life without someone who never truly valued us in the first place. When betrayal comes to light, many people make the mistake of clinging on, forgiving unconditionally, hoping things will go back to the way they were. Sadly, they fail to realize that real maturity lies in letting go, in emotionally detaching, and choosing peace over attachment to those who do not deserve their place in our lives. Some betrayers may return with apologies, blame circumstances, or worse, make you feel like your reaction was the problem. But you must stay alert and remember this: repeated betrayal is never a coincidence, it's a pattern. And by forgiving that pattern, you teach them that they can betray you without consequence. When someone has proven they can't be loyal, no matter how beautiful your history or how deeply you care, they do not deserve a place in your life. Because the wound they leave behind can't truly heal. Remember, inner peace is far more valuable than a fake friendship or a one-sided relationship. It's better to walk alone than to be surrounded by those who are not genuine. The philosopher Seneca once said, "Associate with people who make you better, and welcome those whom you too can help grow." In other words, the people around you should bring positive energy, remain loyal even in your absence, and live with sincerity. If someone has shown you they're capable of betrayal, your only task is to walk away without regret. Forgiving betrayal might sound noble, but without clear boundaries, it becomes a form of self-betrayal. Because when you allow disloyal people to stay in your life, you're sending yourself the message that your standards don't matter, that your worth isn't worth protecting. The most powerful move you can make is to cut ties firmly and never look back. That's the path of the wise, to move forward with clarity, not bitterness, to let go without forgetting, to learn the lesson without losing yourself. Because ultimately, true peace doesn't come from holding on to those who don't deserve you, it comes from having the courage to say, "I deserve relationships that are honest and true." And that is not a minor decision, it's a declaration that you love yourself enough never to accept less than what you're truly worth. Here is the English adaptation of your second passage, with wording adjusted for clarity and emotional strength, while keeping the original meaning intact. Paragraph breaks are preserved exactly as in your original. 2. Deception is a silent poison that corrodes the strongest foundations of any relationship, not just because it involves falsehoods, but because it's a deliberate act of manipulating perception and distorting reality in someone else's mind. A lie might sound harmless at first, but the essence of deception is a clear reflection of a tendency, a lifestyle, and an undeniable revelation of the liar's true nature. When someone chooses to deceive you, they're not merely hiding the truth. They are intentionally shaping the way you perceive the world, how you see them, and even how you view yourself. And that, in itself, is a betrayal more brutal than any visible wrongdoing. Truth is the cornerstone of inner peace. Without honesty, there is no clarity. Without stability, every relationship becomes nothing more than a perfectly staged performance. A relationship built on lies is like a house built on sand. No matter how solid it appears, it will eventually collapse. A philosopher once said, "A dishonest person spreads falsehoods, first to others, then eventually to themselves." Over time, liars become trapped in their own web of lies, unable to distinguish between truth and illusion. But just because they must face the consequences of their choices does not mean you should suffer alongside them. Every time someone chooses to lie to you, they are placing their ego and personal gain above sincerity, above respect, and above the relationship you value. They are not choosing to communicate, they are choosing to control. And the cruelest part? They show you that your trust is something they're willing to discard at any moment. Respect and deception cannot coexist in a relationship. The very moment someone lies to you, whether through concealment, distortion, or complete fabrication, they are saying, "I don't value your trust." And once trust is broken, it is rarely ever fully restored. Many people will justify lies by saying everyone lies, that small lies are harmless, that deception is human nature. But understand this, no lie is small when it severs the bond between two people. No lie is harmless when it forces you to question everything that ever happened. Deception isn't just a lack of honesty, it's a tool of control. Liars always seek to bend reality in their favor, often at your expense. When you ignore deception, when you stay silent in the face of dishonesty, you're not just forgiving it, you're enabling it. There will always be those who lie to cover up their mistakes, to exploit others, or to avoid taking responsibility. Don't try to understand them, choose to let go. Don't waste your time trying to fix them, to change who they are, or to extract truth from someone who has already proven unworthy of your trust. Instead, accept the reality, they chose to deceive. And your role is to walk away from that relationship with clarity. Epicurus once said, "You cannot learn anything if you think you already know everything." Deceivers have no interest in growth, authenticity, or self-improvement. They believe they are above the truth, and that makes them dangerous. You cannot change them, but you can absolutely change how you respond. You should never waste time on liars. They did not allow deceit to quietly fester in their lives. The moment someone lies to you, recognize it as betrayal. Forgiving deception isn't strength, it's an open invitation for more pain. The only way to preserve your dignity and protect your inner peace is to leave, decisively, without regret. The cost of keeping a liar in your life will always outweigh the cost of losing them. 3. The loss of trust. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, and once it's broken, what remains is only collapse, doubt, and a distance that can never truly be bridged. Trust is built and nurtured through sincerity, consistency, and honesty, not over days, but over years. Yet a single moment of betrayal, a single wrongdoing, a single exposed lie can wipe out all that effort in an instant. And the most painful part is that some fractures never heal. Some betrayals make it impossible for things to ever go back to the way they were. When someone breaks your trust, they're not just betraying your faith in them, they're destroying the bond that once connected two hearts, two souls. And once that bond is severed, the road back rarely exists. Trust is not just about honesty, it is about stability, commitment, and the unspoken promise that says, "I will not hurt you." When you trust someone, you give them access to the most private corners of your world. your wounds, your untold stories, your most fragile emotions. And if they use that access to deceive, betray, or deliberately cause pain, they're showing you they were never worthy of that place in your life to begin with. Learn to accept people for who they are, not who you hoped they would be. Some people will disappoint you. Some will act selfishly. Some will betray you without a shred of remorse. But how you respond determines your future. The biggest mistake many people make is believing that broken trust can be fully restored, that as long as the other person apologizes, gives it time, or tries to prove themselves, everything can return to normal. But the harsh truth is, once trust is betrayed, it is never the same. It's like a shattered mirror. Even if you piece it back together, the cracks remain forever. There's a saying, when someone wrongs you, don't focus on what they did, focus on how you respond. And the right response to broken trust is not blind forgiveness, it's protecting yourself. Ask yourself, if someone has betrayed you once, why would you give them another chance? Would you drink from a well that once poisoned you, just because someone tells you the water is clean now? Would you rebuild a house on a foundation that already collapsed? When someone breaks your trust, they've made a choice to put their ego above love, their selfishness above loyalty, their personal gain above integrity. And once that choice is made, there's no going back to undo it. Even if they later feel regret, beg for forgiveness, or promise never to do it again, the damage is already etched deep into your heart. You might try to pretend everything's okay, but deep down, you'll always wonder, are they hiding something again? Will they betray me once more? And that constant insecurity drains you more than the pain of separation ever could. Many will tell you to forgive and forget, but true clarity comes when you choose to respect yourself, when you have the strength to walk away from those who hurt you. Forgiving the guilty is punishing the innocent. Because when you forgive someone who shattered your trust, you're not just giving them another chance. You're putting yourself at risk again. You're trading your peace for the illusion of connection. And that is too high a price. When trust is broken, the right response isn't revenge or resentment. It's walking away, silently but powerfully. It's your chance to learn, to rebuild your boundaries, and to never again allow the same person to hurt you twice. The greatest act of self-respect is knowing when to let go. Forgiveness should be reserved for honest mistakes, not intentional betrayal. The ultimate truth is, once trust is broken, it should never be given back so easily. If someone truly valued you, they wouldn't have betrayed you in the first place. If they were genuinely loyal, you'd never have to question their actions. The strongest decision you can make is to erase untrustworthy people from your life permanently. Don't let one betrayal turn into a cycle of pain. Move forward without looking back, and never give anyone the chance to hurt you a second time. Betrayal is a painful but necessary lesson, because not everyone who apologizes deserves a second chance. Those who lie, cheat, and break trust should never be excused. A wise person doesn't waste time on those who have already revealed their true colors, because your peace, your dignity, and your self-respect will always be worth more than any relationship built on deception. We hope you found this video both helpful and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe to the Wisdom to Wealth story, so you won't miss our upcoming content about what Keanu Reeves shares about wisdom and motivation. And if you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to share it so that others may benefit too. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you in the next video.